when I think about the program, the reason that I love it is because I can study what I want to study, but approach it from different perspectives, which is not something I understood when I came into the program. So I think that was one of the big transition points, going through the program and realizing, oh, I started working with a sociologist and looking at this phenomena, and now I can work with someone in strategy and look at the exact same thing.
It's very challenging. The workload is heavy, but given the culture of the program, one in which is like big on collegiality, those things are not insurmountable. And so it allows you to appreciate the actual content in your courses. It allows you to appreciate, wow, this is a better way of trying to figure out the answers to these problems that are out there.
I know that here we have such a strong community, and it really benefits the students and the faculty as a whole too. So just to be able to develop the relationships and be able to collaborate with different students just opens up your mind to so many different possibilities.
The org science program really appealed to me because of the just sheer number of faculty that are involved with our program. So other graduate programs might have 4 or 5, maybe 10 faculty members that are affiliated with the program. We have 20. So I knew that to be a successful researcher, I needed to learn how to become a researcher, and that I would need some individualized attention. And I've had the opportunity to work one-on-one with more faculty than I can even count right now. So it's been great to have that one-on-one experience with a variety of faculty members.
When I first came, I was coming from an IO master's program, and I was studying workaholism and employee stress, and I came to the OS recruitment day and got a chance to talk to a comm scholar who said, have you studied organizational culture's influence on workaholism? And I had not. And then I talked to a sociology professor who said, have you studied technology and globalization's potential influences on workaholic tendencies? And of course my answer was, I have not, because you don't get those types of antecedents in IO psychology. You get much more micro antecedents. And I hadn't even considered some of these more macro antecedents and how they potentially cause overwork.
Having such a wide variety of theoretical frameworks to be exposed to in the program, to have access to the micro to macro orientation. I mean, I think we talk about meso research and going up one level and down one level, and then having your primary focus level. And just the interdisciplinary nature of our program really facilitates that type of research experience.
I think in hindsight, looking back on if I had gone to a traditional disciplinary program, in particular an IO program, there would have been certain topics that just were off limits, either because of the expertise of the faculty or because of what's traditionally considered good research, good IO research. And I think being here, the ability to play in 4 different arenas, so to speak, the ability to, or the opportunity, I suppose, to explore topics across all those different disciplines and merging those disciplines has been terrific.
It's helpful when you come in here for the transition that everybody is so supportive, and they're going to help you do what you want to do, whether it's going applied, whether it's going academic.
That's something that's totally unique. I mean, you can find individual people at other programs that are okay with it, but the supportive culture of it's okay to, you don't have to whisper it, you don't have to whisper the fact that you want to go applied. And there's still a part of me every other day that thinks about still being a professor, and I know that I have that option, and that's also great. The flip, the ability to flip-flop. But it's the ability to have that option of going applied and not being embarrassed about it.
What was the question?
We have people who are going into different disciplines, so we'll have some discussion, and it's like, well, no, I think about it this way. And you can't, not everybody's on the same page, I guess, essentially, but it's in a constructive way. So we can have these conversations that are stimulating because we're seeing it from different viewpoints.
The way in which the students are motivated really speaks to how I like to be motivated. And I realized that there is such an attractive culture because there's no scarcity of resources among all the people in the program. Now there's about 20-25 people, give or take, but no one is looking to undercut the other person given all of these things that we have for ourselves to work with. So you're really working next to really motivated people for the right reasons.
You come here and you kind of get a feel for
we want you to succeed, we want you to do well. We're not trying to bring you down, we're not trying to have you compete with other students. Like, we just want you to be successful.
For me, the UNCC is changing. Our system is changing to being a research institution, being the urban research institution, and because of that, we are well supported on the academic side as well. And so we're supported by the culture. We're supported with resources and connections.
The culture comes out of that motivation. The culture comes out of how the program is reflecting its own beliefs onto itself, and that makes for a tremendous improvement to research and practice.
In a world where everyone's really busy and having a lot more people to reach out to, it's great that I can have a chance to connect with somebody.
Also, just Charlotte itself is awesome. So it's really diverse. It's a nice sized town, pretty easy to get around, lots of awesome festivals and music. And I mean, I can come out here when I want and look at this skyline, and it's, you know, I can't believe I'm a grad student sometimes. So when I graduate, I'm definitely staying.
I mean, the other really good benefit of the program is just that it's in Charlotte. I mean, you can go to a program in a whole host of places in this country and even worldwide, and I think the Queen City's got a lot going on for it, so that's a big plus.
So some of the main selling points that made me want to come here are things like the interdisciplinary thing, Charlotte, like there's a lot to do, Charlotte's did a lot.
I get a lot of questions from undergraduates saying, hey, well, you know, how'd you choose the institution you chose? Why'd you choose UNC Charlotte? And for me, the thing was, I knew that a Ph.D. was going to be 4 to 6 years, typically. And I didn't want to go somewhere, I didn't want to live for 4 to 6 years. And I have lived in Charlotte previously, and Charlotte's such a great city as far as like different avenues for your career, but also for entertainment and just personal life. And so I wanted to live somewhere that got me excited about personal life and work life, like, you know, both. So.
And I mean, Charlotte just got named Time Magazine's best, cheapest city to live in. So
yeah.
How do you, I mean, I saw that article and I sent it to everybody I know. I'm like, look, I'm living in the best, I mean, how can you argue with that?
When I visited this school, it was a qualitatively different experience than any other program I went to, with the fact that when I talked to the students and met with them, I just got along with them so well.
From the first day that I started the program, I've always felt that the organizational science program is a place where I could be myself. And that may sound odd, but in prior jobs I had, as well as prior academic experiences, I never genuinely felt that I could be myself. But the students, as well as the faculty in the program, have allowed me, encouraged me to pursue whatever it is that interests me, and even encourage my changing interests over time.
So that was a big epiphany for me, because I realized that I needed more disciplines to get a fuller picture of the problems that I wanted to study. And so hence that's the, you know, true power of an interdisciplinary degree.
So through all those experiences, I learned a lot about myself and what interests me. So I recently finished the program and I started a job, and this job suits me perfectly. And I'm thrilled that org science helped me to figure out all these things about myself.